So, you helped some past clients buy a home, and it's been 6 months. Have you talked to them? Have you given them a call? What's going on, ladies and gents in Cyberline? Coming back to you with another educational video. And this time we're just going to talk about staying in touch. So, you had a transaction with a client 6, 7, 8 months ago. They were happy. You were happy you were able to help them. You earned your commission. They got the home they wanted. Well, when's the last time you talked to them? See, one of the things that can happen, and I have been guilty of this, is that once you do a transaction, it's not that you stop caring about the client. You're just like, okay, whatever was happening with that situation, it's done. We finished it. What's the next thing I need to do? Am I going to take a break? Am I going to go to another client? Am I going to look for another client? Am I follow up with people that are incubating to buy? What am I going to do? However, sometimes you can be so caught up in that in your personal life that months pass and you don't talk to your client. Because at the end of the day, they pretty much are still your client, unless they say otherwise. And, makes a difference, and it can kind of show what type of relationship you might have with them. If you're calling them and leaving messages or something, they don't call you back, okay, that lets you know where you guys might stand, or they're just really busy. However, if you are not reaching out to them, you could be missing opportunities, whether that's you guys become good friends or them giving you referrals because they got a family or they have a life, they have other things going on with them that they may not I know it may have been, oh, I just did a transaction for you. You didn't tell somebody about me. It's like, no, it's just, they may not think about it until, something happens. But when you're staying in contact with them and checking in on them every so often when you can, not every 2 years, but every couple months if you can, they remember you. And all it takes is that one time or those repeated times of talking to them and checking on them, see how their family's doing, how are they doing, how are things, how things have been, and your interest that you guys might have with each other. They'll be inclined to refer you to somebody else because they could literally go to the grocery store, or be going somewhere, going on a trip, or meeting up with a couple friends, or having guests over to their place, and somebody says, oh, this house, or oh, how did you do this? How did you do that? And lo and behold, just because you talked to them recently, they tell their friends, their colleague about you, and that person gives you a call. Why? Just because you stayed in touch with your client who you helped buy a home 9 months ago. Those things make a huge difference. And that has personally happened to me. A couple of my clients referred me to other people because, even though I wasn't expecting them to, but I just stayed in touch with them because I enjoyed them. I love our conversations. I love just talking with them, and it's an amazing experience. It's very fulfilling when you have somebody like that. And at the end of the day, like I've said before, it's about the relationship. If you can craft relationships like that, I'm not saying you don't have to cold call or do open house. It'll just make it to where you don't have to rely on that as much to get clients, because those couple phone calls that you would do every so often with your former clients, that's all you need to do. And then once you got 15, 20, 25 clients under your belt, just think about it. It gets to a point where you just call these people so often and check in on them, and they're referring you, and then you take those referrals and help them, and then you're calling them too, and then it ends up becoming where you're spending more time catching up with people that you've helped than actually doing cold calling, trying to find new business, because you got your people. You just touch base with them, and those people will continue to refer somebody to you, and then you just build it that way. That's all you have to do. That's how it starts, and it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in 6 months. It doesn't happen in a year. It might take a couple years, but the point is, it will build. It will generate. It just takes time, but you got to put the effort in. And I don't like to say you got to put the effort in, because that makes it seem like it's a chore. I don't want it to be a chore. I want it to be, you want to call these people. You want to know how they're doing. You genuinely just care about them and what you're able to do with them. I don't want to make it seem like, hello, yeah, blah, 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 blah. How are you? And put on this facade like you're just checking in on them because it's part of your job. Like, no, you actually are checking in on them because you generally know how they're doing and you care. So, and don't get me wrong. Those are the people that you have a good relationship with. You enjoy talking to them. Not everybody that you work with is going to be on that list. There might be some people that you never want to call again. You never want to talk with them because they are batshit. Or you guys just don't vibe, like, at all. You were just like, this is a business transaction. That's what you were hired for, and that's it. Everything outside of that is just kind of like null and void. It's not personal. It's just you guys don't vibe. You were willing to work with them to make things happen, and they were willing to trust you, and that's it. You guys that was your common ground. There wasn't anything past that point, and that very well can happen. You're gonna gravitate towards people that you can have a conversation and can have some type of interest. Not every client you're gonna get is gonna be like that. Some of those referrals might be the same thing. They may not be people that you can have anything outside of a transaction with, and that's okay. But the people that you can do those things through, those things with, don't drop them by the wayside. Stay in touch with them. Check in on them, and continue to do that. Don't just be like, well, I haven't done a transaction with them in 5 years. So keep in touch with them. Because at some point, whether it's in the first year or the fourth year, they're either going to need you for another transaction for them, or their kids, or they're going to know a family member or a friend. They're going to know somebody, and they're going to remember, Chris is always calling us and checks in on us, and he's not asking about real estate. He's asking about us. Even though we did this transaction 3 years ago, and we got this house, and he got his commission, and this, and that, he still calls on us. He still cares about us. Our conversations ain't got nothing to do with this house. He don't ask about the house. He asks about us. He asks about how our kids are. How are they doing in school? How are we doing with the job? How's everything in our personal life? He don't call to say, hey, could you refer me to somebody? He never calls about that. He calls in to check on us. That's the type of person I want to be around. That's the type of person I want to invite to my gatherings, even if he can't make it. That's the type of person that I want to refer business to, because he cares about me. He don't see me as a dollar sign. He doesn't see me as just another person he can get money out of. And that's not something I don't say it's not something you can fake. I'm pretty sure there are some people that can. I can't do it. I can't fake that. I'm not built that way. But that makes all the world of difference in regards to how you continue with your business and how you allow it to thrive. Is checking in those people and generally showing that you care about them, about what's going on with them. Not about, wondering if you could help me out. I'm trying to, now if you're in a financial difficulty, like a lot of people have been, I get it. However, if that's after so long, that's the first time you call me asking that may not look too good. If it's been like you call them repeatedly, checking on them, and then you just say, you know what, such and such, I this is not what I prefer to do right now, but I really need some help right now. I'm really struggling with trying to find some clients because what's going on. If you please know anybody, please just send them my way. I would greatly appreciate it. It's a little different when you do it that way, as opposed to that's like the 10th phone call you guys have had, and it's not the first phone call you or second or third you're having with them after you did a transaction. That's like, we've been talking to each other for years, and stuff is going on that I ain't planned for. If you know anybody, please let me know. That can happen. And they're going to be more understanding to that because, well, Chris doesn't normally call us about this. If he's calling, he needs some help. I got to help my guy. He's helped me. I got to do something, or I got to try to do something. They're more inclined to do that than, damn, man, it's like, we did a transaction and you're already trying to, that's the first thing you call me about is asking me for try to find some business for you. Oh, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. But 9 times out of 10, they don't feel so much that they want to do that because now they feel like, is that it? That's the only conversation we need to have is about you trying to make some money. And it can play a factor. So, anyway, with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.